طيب we are doing chapter 1 اللي هو system of linear equations. In our previous class, we knew what do we mean by linear equation and systems of linear equations. And we knew that in this chapter, our aim is to solve system of linear equations using linear algebra, actually using matrices. Okay, and we knew that if we have a system, we can, let me go back. Okay, if we have system of linear equations, we are going to write it first as an augmented matrix, and then after that, we will do some steps and we reduce our system to another equivalent system. Okay, and this system we can solve it easily and get the solution. We knew that one of the simple systems that we can use is the echelon form. Okay, and we knew how to distinguish the the echelon form. How can I know that this matrix in the echelon form or no? Now we had some conditions. Okay, if we have 0 row, then it should be at the bottom like this. Every row, every non-zero element, كويس, every الفارست non-zero element في الرو should be 1. الفارست non-zero element should be 1 في every row. Non-zero element should be 1 and etc. This one we call it the leading one. Okay. Then the third condition that the leading one is the only non-zero entry in its column. يعني هنا في leading one, all the others should be zeros. في leading one, all the others should be zeros and etc. Correct? Okay. And every leading one should be to the right of the previous. So this is to the right of this. And this is to the right of all the others and etc. Correct? So if all these 4 conditions are satisfied, then we can say that this matrix is in the echelon form. Okay, now our task is to start from a matrix and go to a simpler one. Simpler one, either an echelon form or في another form. I'll show you that form later. طيب. To do this, the only possible operations are the elementary row operation that are only on the row, not in the column, only in the row. Okay, so to get an equivalent system, what we can do, we can interchange the rows. We can multiply one row by a non-zero number. We can add a multiple of one row to another row, to another different row. Okay, these we call them, elementary row operations. They are 3. So to go from a system to the equivalent, we can only apply these rules. Okay. طيب. Here, for instance, some examples also for the row operations. Okay, first of all, we knew that we have to write the matrix, our linear system, as an augmented matrix, such that the first part, which is this part, okay, so this part هو عبارة عن شنو؟ the coefficient matrix اللي هي المعاملات اللي هي coefficient of the x and the y and the z. Okay, So what do we have? 1, 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2. So this is the A. And here, these are the constants where here B. Yes. Okay. So this is our augmented matrix. Okay. So I wrote my system. And I put it, we put it in the augmented matrix like that. And then we start going, to an equivalent system. For instance, if I start, this is my first row, the first element here, it's not 0, but it is 1. So this is our leading one. So I'll say that, this is my leading one. Then what I should do, if this is a leading one, all the other entries with this leading one in its column, they should be 0. So that means I want to make this I want to make it 0, correct? I want this to be 0 instead of 2. So how can I cancel it? طيب, if I divide, if I multiply, can I? No. طيب, if I change this row by no. So what I do, I can use another row multiplied by a number and then subtract. Okay, the most easy one, and always you will make sure that you are going correctly. Use the one that has a row that has the leading one. Which row? Where is the leading one? This is the leading one. So that means I will use this row to make this element 0. Type. How can I do that? I want to change which row? I want to change row R2. Using what? Using row R1. So how can I get 0? If this number became -2, correct? What should I do? I will multiply my row by, -2. Okay, so I will multiply R1 times -2. So I will have -2 R1. Putting in my mind the new numbers, which are going to be 1 times -2, -2. 1 times -2, -2. And then 2 times -2 is -4. Okay, so these are the numbers that I'm going to add them to this one, to this row. Okay, the first row and the third row, they will stay as they are. 1, 1, 2, and then 9. And then the last one, as it is 3, 6, -5, and 0. And I'm going to change this one, in the middle, this one. How I'm going to change it? Using قلنا R1. هيكون عندي the new row is R2 minus twice R1. So I got here what? I got here 0 because 2 minus 2 is 0. And then 4 minus 2, that is 4. And I'm multiplying times -2, correct? So this is going to be -2. And I am adding, sorry, because 2 minus 2 is 0. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And then -3 plus -4, so it is -7. And lastly, also this one you have to multiply times -2, which is -18. So -18 plus 1, so it is -17. يبقى you will get this matrix. يبقى this element now is 0. Now what should I do? I should make this one as well, 0. What should I use? I'm going to use this row that has the leading one. Okay, يبقى what should I do? يبقى this is my R3. This انا عايزه minus 3 عشان 3 minus 3 بتبقى 0 يبقى I multiply this row في minus 3 يبقى هيكون عندي minus 3 R1 and then we add يبقى the operation is going to be شنو our new R3 is equal to the old R3 minus 3 R1. Okay, يبقى I'm going to change only this. Correct? The first two I will write them as they are. طيب, putting in my mind that this when I multiply times minus 3 is going to give me minus 3, then minus 3 minus 3 في 2 minus 6 9 في minus 3 minus 27 and then I am adding يبقى 3 minus 3 this is 0 3 minus 3 sorry and then 6 minus 3 and this is 3 minus 5 minus 6 and then 0 minus 27 so this is minus 27 يبقى this is R3 minus 3 R1 so I'll go from here to there. Now, is this matrix in the reduced echelon form? Sure, no. What should I do next? خلاص, for the first row, I finished from this is the leading one, okay? And all the other elements are zeros. Now I come to the second. What should I do? I should make the first non-zero entry 1. How can I do this? How can I do that? Type, I can divide over 2. But if I divide over 2, I'm going to get fractions here, correct? Because this is going to be like that, and this is going to be 1. So calculate, is it correct? Yeah, I can proceed like that. But calculations will not be easy. Type, هل في another way? I can go by the way this way, but هل في another way? Okay, yes, في another way. What, for instance? Can I use this one? No. Why? لما نجي R2 عايز اغير don't go there. Why? Because if I multiply the first time minus 2 and then add لو قمت قلتها حضرب ده في this is R1 صح؟ and this is R2 and I want to change which one? I want to change R2. عايز اعمل شنو؟ I want to make this one. طيب if I use this one and I subtract R2 minus R1, what's going to happen? هيبقى 0 minus 1 هتديني هنا في this line minus 1. Correct? 2 minus 1, yes, this is 1. Okay. And etc. Correct? But now there is a number here. انت بيجي عندك here 1 وهنا هيبقى عندي minus 1. So that means الزيرو I removed it and I need it there. Okay, so make sure انه not to change this 2. When they are zeros, they should remain zeros. Okay, otherwise you will find yourself going on a loop. طيب عشان ما نصل ل reduce echelon form. طيب okay. طيب how can I do it? How can I do it? I can use مثلا R3. Another way, I can use R3 to make this a leading one. اوكي عشان يبقى 1 مش عايزاه يبقى 0 عايزاه يبقى 1. What can I use? لو if I subtract R2 minus R3, what I'm going to get? انا بغير في R2. طيب هيبقى عندي شنو؟ هيبقى عندي اوكي R2 minus R3 هيكون عندي 0. يكون عندي 0 because 0 minus 0. 2 minus 3 is minus 1, correct? Minus 7 minus minus 11, that means plus 11, okay, which is 4, correct? And then minus 17 minus minus 27, that is plus 27, so it is 10. And now here instead of 2 I have minus 1. Now after that طبعا the whole matrix, and this is the second row only, or first as it is was okay. Now what? We can multiply R2 times minus 1 يبقى هيكون عندي 0 plus 1 minus 4 minus 10. So now this is my leading one, and etc. Okay, so always when you change these where you found the first leading one for the first row and all the others are zeros. When you're going for R2, make sure not to change this. And also when you finding the leading one for the third one, don't change what you did it before. ممكن نقسم على 2. Is it possible? Yes, we can. It's okay. It is correct. But the calculations just will not be nice. When there is fraction, adding, I'm afraid that when you add a fraction to a number, you get wrong answers and things like that. Just because of that. But you can. ما في مشكلة. Can you divide over 2? Yes, we can. واضح؟ طبعا here he did not complete. Here he want to show you just the row operations. طيب, let's do this. Hopefully you did it at home. You tried to reduce this matrix to the echelon form or no? Did you try? Okay. Some succeeded to find it. Type. Okay. Now this is our matrix A. I want to reduce it to the echelon form. That means I will use the 3 previous operations, 3 row operations. Type. So I come to the first row. Okay. I want the leading one. But since here in some we have numbers, okay, so I will not think to make this one this number 1. Okay, because always the leading one, if this is the leading one, the other should be to the right and the other should, okay. So what comes to my mind, just to interchange between the rows. Yes, exactly. So we put R1 in the place of R2 and R2 in the place of R1, and this is one of the possible operations, correct? So what I'll get, what we get, our new matrix is going to be 1 minus 1 and then 3 and then 1, correct? And then here 0 minus 2 and then 4 and this 4 and then 0 1 minus 2 and then minus 2 and then 3 minus 4 and then 11 and then this one 0. Okay, so where is my leading one? This is my leading one for the first row now. All the others should be zeros. Type. So this is 0, this is 0, but this is 3. I need to change what? R4. How
دكتورة.
I'll change R? Yes.
معلش معلش على المقاطعة، بس أنا عندي محاضرة ثانية داخلة مع نفس المحاضرة هذه، فهذه حتكون مسجلة؟
إيه إن شاء الله. أوكي.
طيب تمام، يعطيك العافية.
نعم.
معلش يا دكتورة، معلش
طيب.
بما انك قطعتي.
اوكي.
اوكي، بخصوص الصف الاول. طيب كيف اذا قلنا leading 1 في الصف الاول 1 جنبها -2، كيف تخلص من -2 و4 و4؟
اصبر خطوه خطوه. احنا هنشتغل شنو خطوه خطوه. انت you're not going to do them all in one step by step. Okay, we will use the 3 possible operations one by one لحد we reach the echelon form. Okay. طيب احنا قلنا when I find this the leading one, I should make all the other elements with it in the same column شنو zeros. In particular, this one, I should make it 0. It is in which row? It is in the row R4. Okay, I'm going to change the 4th row. How can I change the 4th row? The new R4 is equal to the previous R4 times here -3, correct? يبقى -3 R1. Yes? Okay. يبقى what is going to be my matrix? Tell me. What is my matrix? هتكون شنو؟ الفيرست والسكند والثيرد row are going to stay as they are. هيكون عندي ال1 والماينس 1 وال3 وال1. اوكي؟ وال0 والminus 2 وال4 وال4 and then here 0 1 minus 2 minus 2. I'm changing the last one. طيب يبقى حيكون عندي شنو 3 minus 3 which is 0. طيب دي حتبقى شنو العدد اللي هنا دي this one times minus 3 is going to be equal to 3. يبقى minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. معاي انتو؟ طيب and here 11 this 3 في minus 3 is minus 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. Correct? 1 times the minus 3 is minus 3. Minus 3 plus the 0 is minus 3. Correct? Ibga. Okay. So this is my leading one, and all the other elements with it in the row, now they are zeros. Now, what should I do? I come to the second row and try to make the leading one. Type the second row. The first non-zero entry is what? Is minus 2. So I will divide over minus 2. Okay. يبقى حيكون الماتريكس شنو حقتنا الجديدة when you divide over minus 2 this one حيبقى الماتريكس as it is from the beginning. Okay. الelements. Okay. حيكون عندنا 1 minus 1 and then 3 and then 1. This is the first row as it is. The second row, I'm dividing this row. I'm changing. Let me write it here. Okay. I'm changing the second row. The new row is equal to the old R2 and I multiply it times minus 1 over 2 minus half. Okay. So it is going to be equal to 0. And when you divide, هنا في 4 وهنا 4, all of them they are divided over minus 2, correct? يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو؟ 1 and then minus 2 and then minus 2. And then the other row 0 and 1 and minus 2 and minus 2. And then the last one 0 wa minus 1 2 minus 3. Okay. So this is our matrix. Now I want what? This is the leading one. صح؟ ده كان leading one الأول وخلصنا الرو حقه. Now for the second row, this one. I found the leading one. What should we make? All the other elements with it in the same column, they should be zeros. يعني I need to make this one 0. I need to make this one 0. I need to make this one 0. Okay? Let's do step by step. طب we want to change first the first row اللي هو منه R1. طيب I will use R2 easily, correct? I will use R2 to change it. Okay. يبقى حيكون عندي شنو؟ I want to make the first element this one to make it 0. What do we do? How can I make 0? If I added R1 plus R2, I'm going to get the 0, correct? ليه قسمنا على minus half يا جماعة؟ Why we closed over minus half? We close عشان نتخلص من الماينس 2 دي نعملها 1 لأنه أول non zero entry مفروض تكون 1 فلقيت إنه all the row is divisible over 2 صح؟ Easily I can divide it over 2. Please mute your mic. اقفل المايك بتاعك. So when we divide over minus 2, طيب when we divide over minus 2 هيبقى دي 1 صح؟ دايما when we write it's better you start with the row that you want to change. So we want to change R1, so I write R1 plus R2. اوكي خلاص، في الطريقه المتبعه دايما الرول انت عايز تغيره بتبدا به وتكتبه. We want to change R1, so our new R1 it's equal to the previous R1 plus R2. Okay. Okay. Ibga, what is the matrix? Let me write it. It's going to be 1 زائد 0 1 minus 1 plus 1 it is 0. 3 minus 2 it is 1. 1 minus 2 it is minus 1. Correct? Type. Now, what about the second row? I will write it as it is. I'm not going to change it. 0, 1, minus 2, minus 2. I can write the third والfourth وأكون غيرت one row. But here, why? Because I'm using only R2, I can do more than one steps. One and more step in the same يعني in one matrix. فأنا حغير R1 وكمان حأغير R3 وكمان حأغير R4. Is it possible? Yes. Because I'm going to change them using R2. Or if you feel like you will be confused, do each one operation in separate matrix. Okay? Now, how we can change R3? What we need? We need this one to be 0, correct? We need, let me take another color. We need this one, صح? To be equal to 0. Which row I will use? We said we will use R2. طب how can we make it 0? Just R3 minus R2, correct? يبقى هعمل R3 minus R2. اوكي يبقى معي الرو بتاع R3 هيبقى شنو؟ 0 minus 0 it is 0. 1 minus 1 it is 0. minus دي كانت 2 ولا minus 1؟ دي كان minus 2 صح؟ اوكي minus 2 plus 2 لانه minus 2 minus 2 اللي هي معناها plus 2 again it is 0. And then minus 2 minus 2 that is minus 2 plus 2 which is 0. Okay, now also I want to change R4. I want to change which one? R4. نكتب بالأبيض. Okay, we want to change R4. I want to make this number 0 as well. طيب, which row I will use? I will use again R2. طيب, how can I make it 0? هنا عندي ده minus 1 and here 1. Just I can add them, correct? يبقى I will change R4. Okay. And my new R4 is equal to the previous R4 plus R2. Okay. So let's find it. 0 plus 0 minus 1 plus 1 2 minus 2 طيب minus 3 or minus 2 is minus 5 is minus 5 correct. يبقى كده I change which one? I change R4. طيب, and always when you do something go and check. طيب, yes, exactly. Now this is my first leading one. This is my second leading one. أول ما ظهر لي row all its entries are 0, I have to change. To change what? R3 و R4 يبقى لأنه في row all its entries are zeros. يبقى I will change R3 by R4. Now, what is going to be the new matrix? It's going to be 1, 0, 1, minus 1, and then 0, 1, minus 2, and then minus 2, and then 0, 0, 0, minus 5. Okay, and then the last one, اللي هو all the entries are zeros like that. Okay, so this is the leading one and all the other entries are zeros. This is the leading one, all the other entries are zeros. Now we come to R3. The first non-zero entry should be what? Should be 1. So that means I have to change this number to be 1. And easily, just I can divide over minus 5. صح؟ احنا قلنا we can multiply any row by any number. For instance, times minus 1 over 5. So في step اللي هي I'm going to change only R3. So what is the new R3? It is the old one times minus 1 over 5. The minus 1 over 5 are what? R3. Okay. Okay. So instead of writing the matrix again, I will wrote it in the same, okay, matrix. يعني this one here, I'll come here and just this element over minus 5, it is going to be equal to 1. Let me, خلاص انت تشتغلها في steps جديدة, okay. أنا just instead of writing all again. يبقى now this is الماتريكس بتاعتي. Okay, now this is the leading one. هل all the other entries are zeros? No. صح؟ المعاه في الكولوم. What are they? What should I make? I should make this one 0 and this one 0 as well. Correct? Okay. How we do this? How we do this? Tell me. Type. Now this one, we want to change R1 using الرو اللي فيه leading one اللي هو R3. طيب يبقى عندنا we want to change R1. طيب يبقى R1 the old R1
3.
yes R1 ده minus 1 وده 1 plus صح R1 plus R3. اوكي يبقى حتكون الماتريكس حقتي شنو؟ tell me. ها انا بغير في R1 يبقى حجمع 1 plus 0 1 0 plus 0 0 correct 1 plus 0 1 minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Yes. The second row. طيب can I change in the same time and I changed already R1. Can I do in the same step and change R2? Yes, because I am using this one instead of writing the matrix many times, correct? طيب how can I do this? عايزين نغير R2 باستعمال R3. يبقى this is minus 2 و this is 1. يبقى we multiply R3 ب minus 2 صح؟ يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو؟ R we want to change R2. So the new R2 is equal to the old R2 minus plus 2R3 صح؟ لأنه لو ضربت دي في 2 this number is going to be equal to 2 and when we add 2 minus 2 is going to be equal to the 0. Okay. Okay, so 0 plus 0 0 1 plus 0 1 minus 2 plus 0 minus 2 minus 2 plus 2 أنا بضرب الرو ده كله في 2 صح؟ طيب minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Then I write the last one as it is, this one as it is, 0, 0, 0, 1, and then the last one 0, 0, 0, 0. And now I check. This is the leading one. All the other entries are zeros. This is the leading one. All the other entries with it in the same columns are 0. And this is leading one of the third row. All the other entries in its column are zeros, and the last has no leading one. All the elements are zeros. ممكن يعني you can do this alone and write the whole matrix and then do this, but the matrices are going to be many. ما في مشكلة. بس أنا بالنسبة لي whenever عندي leading one and I'm going to change this and this and this, I can do them in the same step. Why? Because I'm going to use the same row, this one. بيكون في الكويزز بتجي بسيطة جدا، ما it's not long like that, I'm quite sure. 1 or 2 steps at most. Okay? So you checked. This is في reduced echelon form? Yeah, في reduced echelon form. I'm done. Now I know that this is is row equivalent to this matrix. Okay, and this one, it is in the reduced echelon form, and we will see later how easily we can solve this one. طيب. Now let's go and do this one. Okay. I need help. Anyone? Anyone? This is the leading one. Okay, easily. What we need? We need to make all the others in its row, in its column, equal to 0. Okay, how we do this? We want to change first R2. Type R2. How we change it? What we do?
ناقص R1.
Yes, exactly. Minus R1. Okay, let's start writing the matrix. The first one, I will write it as it is. I'm not going to change it. 1 minus 2 minus 1 and then 2 and then 3. Okay, we are subtracting R2 minus R1. Okay, so what we are getting? 1 minus 1, 0. Minus 2 minus 2, 0. Minus 1 minus 1, 0. Minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, correct? 0 minus 3 minus 3. Okay. Now what else I want to change? I want to change R3 using also R1. So I can do it in the same step. How can I make this one 0? How can I make this one 0? نجمعهم. Yes. يبقى I will change R3. My new R3 is equal to the old R3 plus R1. يبقى what's going to be? الروح يكون بقى كم؟ minus 1 plus 1 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 plus 2 2 minus 1 plus 3 is 2. Correct? Type also I want to change the last one. How can I change the last one? R4 using R1. The new R4 is equal to the old R4 minus
R1.
بس minus R1 لأن هتبقى 2 minus 1, so it is 1. I want it not to be 1. I need it to be 0.
minus 2R.
Yes, exactly. Minus 2R1. Okay, so it will be 2 minus 2 0. and هنا أنا ضاربة في 2. okay. طيب minus 2 في 2 ب minus 4. أنا ضاربة في minus 2, sorry, correct? Yes. طيب 2 minus 2 0. minus 2 في minus 2 is 4. 4 plus minus 4 is 0, correct? minus 1 في minus 2 is 2. 2 plus minus 2 is 0. طيب then 2 في minus 2 is minus 4. Minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2. Then minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. Minus 6 plus 4 is minus 2. Okay, so this is my leading one. All the other entries are 0. No, what we do, by the way, always when if I find that a row, I can simplify it, it will be more easier. So it's clear here. I can divide this one over minus 3, and I can divide this over 2, and I can divide this over minus 2. What if I did not? ما في مشكلة, no problem. But always for the calculations, or to make calculations more easy, whenever you can simplify one of the rows, do it. Okay? So for me, I can do 3 things here. I can multiply R2 في minus 1 over 3. يعني هيكون عندي minus 1 over 3 R2. وعندي 1 over 2 R3. Also, what this one I can multiply times 1 minus 1 over 2. So minus 1 over 2 R4. Okay? So what I will have, يبقى هالماتريكس حقتي هتكون شنو؟ Tell me. هتكون as R1 as it is, صح؟ 1 minus 2 minus 1 and then 2 and then 3. Okay. And then 0 0 0 minus 3 على minus 3, which is 1, and this is 1. And then the last also, the one before the last, 0 0, and then 1, also 1, correct? And then the last one, 0 0 0, also 1 1. Okay. Now what can I do? What can I do? I can subtract. Okay, this is طبعا هنا هو leading one. Okay, so we can subtract R3. We want to change R3. So R3 minus R2. Yes. What I will have? 1 minus 2 minus 1, 2, 3, and then 0 0 0 1 1, and then 0 0 0 0 0, and also I can make R4 minus R2, correct? So again, it is 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, so this is my leading one. All the other elements are zeros. Now this is my leading one. What remains to make this 2 0? Correct? And the last, هنا ما في leading one, هنا ما في leading one are zeros. يبقى فضلت one task to change R1 using R2. طب how can I do that? هغير منه، هغير R1. طيب how? We multiply this one. Now our mind become by minus 2. Correct? So what do we will have? R1, the new R1 is equal to the old R1 minus 2 R2. Yeah. يبقى and then you write the matrix حقتك اللي هي حيكون عندنا 1 minus 2 minus 1, and this is 1 في minus 2 by minus 2 plus 2 is 0, and then 1 في minus 2 is minus 2, minus 2 plus 3 is 1. Okay, this one I will write it as it is 0 0 0 1 1, and then 0 0 0 0 0, and هل في reduced echelon form or no? Leading one, all the others are zeros. This is my leading one. All the other entries are zeros. خلاص, that's it. يبقى this one is in the least in the echelon form. طيب لو ضربت الرو الثاني في 2 وطرحت وين؟ Which one? In which step? This is the first step. Here, second step. Here to go from here to there. To go from here to there. طيب تضرب ضربت الصف الثاني ب2. This one ب2 وطرحت. This is what we did. ب2 بدل minus 2. It's okay. نفس الايديا يا جماعه. لما نقول اضرب في 2 واطرح معناها بقت كانك ضربت في ناقص 2. It's the same idea. اوكي. معناها كانك ضربت في ناقص 2 وجمعتها. يعني ده لو ضربته في 2 كان حيكون شنو؟ اوكي. دي 1 minus 2 minus 1. This is 2. Then 2 minus 2. You got it? You're going to get the same answer, which is 0. And then this is في 2. 1 في 2, 2. 3 minus 2. Again, it's 1. So clear? Okay. So this is in the reduced echelon form. طيب. Now let's go back to our main aim. Our aim is to what? Solve a system of linear equations. Okay, what we'll do first, if we have any system, okay, we will try, we will write it in a matrix form or in particular as an augmented matrix, and then we try to reduce it to a simpler and equivalent system. Okay, why? Because if we have, this is a system and this is equivalent to this, they will have the same solution, but solving this one is going to be more easier. Okay, طيب يبقى let ax بتساوي b and cx بتساوي d be two systems of linear equation, each of m equation in n unknown. نفس طبعا عدد الصفوف وعدد الأعمدة of this and this. If the augmented matrix of this and this are row equivalent, that means you did only row operations, so they are row equivalent, then both linear system have exactly the same solution. Our original system and the other system, which I got it from that by doing row operation, such that this system is going to be equivalent to this. They will have, the same solution. Okay, and this is actually, we said it from the beginning. Now, why we're reducing to the echelon form? We're reducing to the echelon form. Why? Because we said from our system, we put it like that, we want to solve this system. But this one, we found that it is it's more easier to solve, correct? I can get the solution. So what's the relation between this and this? They are row equivalent. They are row equivalent. And the solution of this is a solution of that. Clear? So if these two augmented matrices are row equivalent, that means we got this from that one by doing row operation, then they will have the same solution. The solution which you will get for this is also a solution for that one. Yeah, to solve that means we want to find the unknown variables. Okay? Clear? Ghada, clear? Okay. type. Now we want to solve a linear system. Type. If we have, this is our linear system. طبعا this is a matrix form where A is a matrix تحت الcoefficient while X is the vector of the variables. These are the constant, correct? The first step you will do, you will write it as an augmented matrix. Or you find the augmented matrix. You will write your system in a matrix form. Actually, you will write it as an augmented matrix. And then after that, what we will do, we will reduce our system to a simpler equivalent one by doing row operation. We will find a new system or a new matrix, okay, in reduced row echelon form. That, what is the relation between this one and that one? They are row equivalent. We got this one by doing row operation in that one. Okay, طيب. Now after that you will solve this one. Type. From the beginning, do you remember we said each linear system will have one of three, things, or only three possibilities. Either it will have no solution, or either we will have no solution or one solution or infinitely many solutions. Okay, يا إما one أو infinitely many. There is a solution. The system is consistent and there is a solution, either one or infinitely many, or else no solution. And we say that the system is inconsistent in this case. So easily, okay, when I reduce to the echelon form, I can immediately know that what type of solution I will have. Okay, when you reduce, he said that if the number of leading ones is equal to the number of unknowns, then you will have a unique solution. Let us see this one like that. This matrix, let's assume, let's give some numbers here. Let me write مثلا 2 0 minus 5 ممكن يكون fraction ما في مشكلة. Any number, any real number. Okay. Now this, yeah, it is augmented matrix. It is CD. Okay. يعني I start from my system. Okay. I put it in the augmented form. I reduce by doing some row operation to a simpler one, simplest one, which is the reduced echelon form. Okay. And then I can have one of three cases. Either you will reach something like that. Okay. Here, is it in the reduced echelon form? Yes. 1 zeros and then 1 and zeros and then 1 and zeros. Don't look at the last. This is for B. I leave the B. Just look here. This is A and this is B. Correct? Here. Correct? When you reduce it, then we call this one C and then this is D. ما في مشكلة naming. Anyway, this is for the constant. Okay, whenever you're doing in the row, you will do for the whole row and then you will get a number here and etc. At the end, to make sure that you reached the echelon form, where you have to test this part. طيب, هل this part in the echelon form or no? Tell me. Is it in the echelon form ولا لا? هل the conditions, the 4 conditions? Yeah, sure. صح? Leading one, all the others are zeros. Then here, leading one, all the others are zeros. Then here, leading one, all the others are zeros, correct? So yes, it is in the reduced echelon form. He said, if it is like that, then in this case, you're going to get what? a unique solution. So you will get a unique solution. Let me tell you from now what is the solution. You will get only one solution. يبقى لما الليد number عندي كم leading one؟ 1 2 3. عندي كم equation؟ sorry عندي كم unknown، كم variable؟ This is the x, y, z, or you can call it x1, x2, x3. يبقى the number of leading one is equal to the number of unknown. And in this case, he said you will get a unique solution. Let me show you. يبقى هنا عندي here, what do we have? 3 leading ones and 3 unknowns. Correct? When the number of leading one are 3, when number of unknowns are 3, when the number of leading ones equal to the number of unknowns, you will get what? Unique solution. Type. How we can let's try to find the solution. Type here. Let me give some numbers to مثلا 0 and then مثلا -5. Okay. What is the solution? This is an equation, you get it from that. This is the x, this is for the y, and this is for the z. Correct? So 1 في x بx. 0 of y, 0. 0 of z, 0 is equal to 2. So the x is equal to 2. طيب 0x plus y plus 0z. So y plus 0, which is y, is equal to what? Is equal to 0. And then lastly, 0x plus 0y plus 1z. يعني z is equal to what? Is equal to -5. So this is going to be the solution. The first condition is that when you reduce to the echelon form, if you find something like that, اللي هو هيكون شنو؟ 1 في diagonals like this. واضح؟ هتكون في diagonal matrix. اوكي؟ وكل all the diagonals are 1 and all the others our other entries مالهم zeros. صح؟ Zeros. So in this case, I will have a unique solution and you can easily get the solution like that. Clear the first one? Okay, now the second case. If the number of leading one is less than the number of unknowns. عندي كم leading one هنا? How many leading one I have? 1 2. يبقى عندي 2 leading ones. اوكي، وعندي كم unknown؟ 1 2 3 اللي هي number of columns. عندي 3 unknowns. يبقى الحالة دي فيها شنو؟ a number of leading ones less than the number of unknowns. اوكي، اللي هو leading ones less than unknowns. He said in this case you will get infinitely many number of solutions. Infinitely many number of solutions. Okay, come leading one here in this example there are 2 and the number of unknowns are are 3. يبقى the number of leading ones is less than the number of unknown. Okay, and then we can get the solution. Let me show you from now how we can get the solution. Just give me any numbers. Let me put them there. Give me any numbers. مثلا if we set here مثلا 2 and here 3, okay, and here 4 and here 5, for instance. Okay, now let's solve this system. How we will solve this system? Okay, I will tell you. Do you remember before what we said? We said if we have infinitely many number of solutions, بنقول system is dependent. Okay. Actually, it will depend on the value of the Z. On the Z. على حسب الZ. هنا ما في leading one. صح؟ Take the column that has no leading one. الcolumn ده فيه leading one. This one has leading one. Here, this column has no leading one. Correct? Okay. It is corresponding to which value? To the Z. So what we will say? We will say, first, let Z is equal to any constant, any real number. In particular, we can call it T, where T is a real number. ممكن تسميه T, ممكن تسميه N, S, no matter. But it is any real number like half, like -1/6, like 7, like 118, like square root of 2, any number, any real number. Type. Then we can get our solution depending on that value T. That's how we can get it. Let's go back. Type from the first row, what do we have? 1 phi x, then that is x, plus 0y, plus 2z, plus 2, but we said the z is equal to t. يبقى plus 2t is equal to what? Is equal to 3. Okay. So this is what we get from the first row. Then we come to the second row. 0x plus 1 phi y by y plus 4z, but the z is t, plus 4t is equal to 5. And then lastly, 0, 0, 0, 0x, 0y, 0z, that is 0 is equal to 0. So خلاص, that's it. But lastly, what do we have? We have the z, الvalue حقتها is what? Is equal to t. We leave it like that. يبقى from here, what is the x? X is equal to 3 minus 2t. Correct? Take this one to one hand. Make this one the subject. And what is the value of y? Y is equal to 5 minus 4t. And lastly, the z is equal to t. So for every value you substitute for t, value from where? From the real numbers. You substitute for t, you can get a solution. In particular, مثلا, okay, this is what is the solution? This is the solution, such that t is a real number. We put it like that, okay, and then we put between curly bracket like this. So this is our solution. طيب لو عايزة particular solution اديني واحد من الحلول دي. انت قلت لا نهائية. طب give me one. For instance, when t is equal to 0, we're getting which solution? لما t 0 ناقص 2 في 0 0 3 minus 0 3 and then 5 and t 0 0. So this is one of these solutions. طيب give me another solution. Take t بتساوي 1 for instance, and then you substitute. What you will get? 2 في 1 by 2, 3 minus 2 1, 4 5 minus 4 1, and t by 1. So this is another solution. What else? مثلا for instance, take t بتساوي half. So for every real value of t, you're going to get a solution. Okay? يبقى حيكون عندي infinitely many number of solutions. Okay? Is it clear? يبقى if the number of leading ones are less than the number of unknowns, اللي هم هنا 2 عندي unknowns 3, يبقى leading ones are less than the number of unknowns, then I will have come infinitely many solution. طب how can I get it? Check which columns they have no leading ones. Here I find one. I found one. طيب this one related variable شنو corresponding to the variable z. So let z بتساوي any constant. For instance, I call it t. Any real أديه أي variable t, where t is any real number, and then after that you get your solution. So depending on the value of t, you will get a certain solution like that. Okay, clear? طيب sometimes ممكن كان في some of the matrices ممكن كان يكون عندنا شنو مثلا here there is this is one and this is one. Let's assume that this is ال B. طيب here this column وفي this column. So two of them they have no leading ones. يبقى what? Call this S, call this R, call this T, call this F, any naming, and then give your solution depending on these two. Clear? Okay. So أي column ما فيه leading one, we say let the variable for this column, we give it a value, we assign to it a value, a real value t, or we call it let z بتساوي t. Okay, هنا ده مثلا the x the y, let y is equal to t, let z is equal to s, and then after that you get the solution depending on that. Okay, اللي هيكون عندك x minus 2t minus r is equal to 1. يبقى الاكس بتساوي take this to the other side. Okay. No. This one it's corresponding. طبعا احنا always when we work and we want a solution we work with what يا جماعة؟ حتى لو ما كان في line معناها دي كانت المفروض تكون augmented matrix, correct? Okay. So if this is the augmented matrix خلاص I don't consider the last line of the last column. Okay. Only we look to the part of the coefficients A. Okay. Okay, then lastly, we said either there is a unique solution or infinitely many number of solution or no solution. When this will happen? Type. This will happen if you had a case like this. You have a row that here the elements are zeros and here a number. ممكن يكون 1, ممكن يكون 2, ممكن يكون 5, no matter. Okay. Why? Because that is 0 في x is 0 plus 0 في y is 0 plus 0 في z is 0. So you're going to get from this line that 0 is equal to 5. Is it possible that 0 is 5? No, it's not impossible. If there is no solution because this is impossible. Clear? If when you have في a part of the coefficient row that all its elements zeros, but here there is a number, then what? Then there is no solution. If this was 0, then there is a solution. Either and you go back and check it is infinitely many ولا لا. Okay? Clear? And sure طبعا لو كان في row كله أصفار حيكون عندك infinitely many number of solutions. Okay? طب okay, let's take some examples and start solving our system. Type. First, here, this is our system of linear equations, and it's very simple and easy. Type. We want to solve it. First, what we do, we put it in the augmented form. So 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, and then 2 minus 1, and then 3, 2 minus 1, and 3. So this is the augmented matrix for that system. Then what I do, I will reduce it to the echelon form. Okay. Okay. By doing what? By doing row operations. So now this is the leading one. Okay. The first non-zero entry. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Easy. It's already 1. Then what's the next job? I have to make this one, 0. Okay. So I want to change R2. Correct? طيب يبقى the new R2 is equal to what do you do? How you'll find it? How we change? We multiply this one by -2, okay, and then add. يبقى -2 R1. يبقى حيكون عندنا R2 -2 R1. يبقى the matrix is going to be equal to, I leave the first as it is, 1, 3, and then this is 5, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 في minus 2 is -6, -6 minus 1 is -7, correct? And then also you do for that 5 times -2 is -10. -10 plus 3 also is -7. Okay. Now this is the leading one and the other entry with it is 0. Now what is my next task? I come here to the second row. We want to make this element 1. So I will divide over -7. يبقى this is, I'm going to change which row? R2. How I'm going to change it? By multiplying it times -1 over 7 to make this one 1. Okay, so it's going to be what? 1, 3, and this is the 5, and then this is 0, 1, 1. Okay, and then this is the leading one. I have to make this one 0. Type. So what you do? You multiply the second row by -3. صح؟ يعني I will change R1 using what? Using R2. يبقى حيكون عندنا شنو؟ We want to change R1. So the new R1 is equal to the old R1 minus 3R2 لأنه ده R2. Yes? And then you do and you will get this one. Okay, it is this one. Is it in the echelon form? Yes. What is the solution? X بتساوي 2, Y بتساوي 1. And that's it. Solution is unique. Yes, it is unique. Why? Number of leading ones, 2. Number of unknowns, 2. If the number of leading ones is equal to the number of unknowns, if I will have a unique solution, as we said. Okay? Clear till here? Clear? طيب, I want to show you something. إحنا قلنا any system that is row equivalent from the first شنو has the same solution as the first. طيب, what if I did not complete this one? هل هو في reduced echelon form? Tell me, is it in the reduced echelon form or no? I'm waiting. System ده في reduced echelon form? Here. No, it is not. Why? The leading one تحته 0. Okay, now come here. This is the leading one. هل ال other elements معه بأصفار؟ No. طيب. This is equivalent to the first, row equivalent. Also, the solution of this is a solution of that. طيب, هل easily I can solve it? Yes, also I can solve it and I will reach the same solution, this one here. Let us see. This is the solution, correct? Okay, I will solve this system. Let me show you how. Okay, first, this is Gaussian method. This one, what? It is عين matrix here. What? It is عندي diagonal. Okay. Actually, it is upper triangle matrix. We are coming for that. خلاص. كل الentries after the diagonal are zeros. If the thing is like that, then easily you can solve. How you solve? You can solve starting from the last row. Okay. هنا the last row هو يا row هو R2. طيب, let's start from the last. Okay, from the last one, what do we have? This is corresponding to the X and this is corresponding to the Y, correct? 0x plus 1y يبقى y بتساوي 1 from R2 using R2. Then substitute in R1. هيكون عندنا شنو؟ طيب في R1 what do we have? We have 1 في x ب x plus 3 في y is equal to 5. Yes, but y already ب 1. يبقى هيكون عندنا x plus 3 في 1 3 is equal to 5. And this implies x بتساوي 5 minus 3 which is equal to 2. So it's the same like that one. Okay. ابقى هل necessary أصل للreduce echelon form? Sometimes no need unless he asks you to reduce لحد ما تصل للechelon form. And sometimes it may be needed for other reasons. But if I can solve when I reduce to الupper triangular form أو lower triangular يعني يكون عندي هي diagonal either numbers here okay and down zeros or the numbers here and here and here zeros. If you can reduce it to that form خلاص you're done. Immediately you can get the solution. And we will see later other examples. What you will do شوف الرو اللي فيه only one element. Okay. طبعا في الحالة دي لأنه it is upper triangle. So directly this one, this row. So this I get the solution here. And then I go to the previous, try to find the solution for, and then etc. كويس لو كانوا أكتر من 2 rows, more than 2 rows. We'll see this in other examples. طيب let's solve this one. Solve the system of linear equations. What is the first step we have to do? Tell me, what is the first step we have to do? This is the linear system. هل linear system? Yes. X, Y, Z, correct? وهكذا. Okay. What we do? What we do? First step قلنا هنعمل شنو? We put it في الماتريكس. Which kind of matrix? ده augmented matrix. Yes, yes. Here you can get the X and Y. إذا كان وصلت الماتريكس to this form. Okay. طيب we put it as an augmented matrix. This is the augmented matrix. And then هشتغل معاكم دي or you go and do it as a homework as well. Okay, this one what we do, we should reduce it to the echelon form, for instance, أو للupper triangular form. Okay, so what we do, this is the first non-zero entry is 1. What should I do? I should make this one 0 and I should make this one 0. Okay, يبقى I want to change which rows? I want to change R2 and also I want to change R3 using what? Using R1. طيب يبقى first I will change R2. The new R2 is equal to the previous R2 or old R2. طيب هعمل شنو عشان this is equal to 0 minus 2 R1 correct؟ عشان 2 minus 2 هتبقى 0 يبقى minus twice of R1. طيب that is R1 I will write it as it is correct? So 1, 2 and then 3 and then this is the 9. And then I'll make this one هو R2 the new R2. So I will have 0 and then 2 في minus 2 minus 4 minus 4 minus 1. So it is minus 5. Then 3 times minus 2, which is minus 6 plus 1, then minus 5. And then 9 في minus 2, minus 18 plus 8 is minus 10. Okay, so I change R2. using the same step I can change R3 if you want to do it in a separate. يعني تخط ال R3 as it is here, it's up to you. وهنا 3. But I can change it لأنه both of them I'm changing it using this one. Correct? So I can do it in the same step. Type. Now, what about R3? How we change it? We multiply this one times minus 3. Correct? يبقى the new R3 is the old minus 3 R1. Yeah. So that is 3 minus 3 is 0. And then 2 في minus 3 is minus 6. Minus 6 is plus 0 is minus 6. And then 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Minus 9 minus 1 is minus 10. Correct? And then the last minus 3 في 9 minus 27. Minus 27 plus 3 is minus 24. Correct? So, okay. So this is the leading one and the others are zeros. Now we come to the second. Okay. And by the way, if you want, you can simplify both from the beginning. يعني I can do like that if you like. يعني minus 1 over 5 R2. Okay. And the last one I can divide is divisible over 2. Correct? ممكن أعمل minus 1 over 2 of R3. Okay. And then type. So this is going to be equal to 1, 2, 3, and this is the 9. And then we divide it over minus 5. So 0, 1, 1, minus 10 over minus 5 is 2, correct? And then the last one, 0, and I'm dividing over minus 2. So positive, it's going to be here 3, and then here 5, correct? And this is 12. To make just calculations easier. And then after that, what? This is now the leading one of the second row. What you should make, we should make this one here 0 and this one as well 0 using what? Using R2. So that is هيكون عندنا شنو? You can change which one we want. We want to change R1. طيب, how we do that? We use يبقى هيكون عندنا the new R1 is the old R1 minus twice R2. Correct? هتضرب ال R2 ده في كم؟ في minus 2 عشان to change. طيب يبقى هيكون عندنا شنو؟ Now يبقى 1 minus 0 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. And this is the line. And then 2 في minus 2 is minus 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. Correct? And then this one you keep it as it is 0, 1, 1, and then 2. And then the last one you can multiply what? R2 في كم؟ في minus 3 to make it 0. So what you will get? 0, yes. 1 في minus 3 plus 3 is 0. And then minus 3 في 1 minus 3 plus 5 is 2. And then minus 3 في 2 minus 6. 12 minus 6, then this is 6. Correct? Okay. يبقى this is leading one, all the others are zeros. This is leading one, all the other entries in its column also are zeros. Now what we do? This is, we need it to be 1. So I can divide over, لأنه هنا 2, I can divide over 2. So when you divide over 2, this will become, this is 1 and this is 3. So you do it in another step. يبقى this is now the leading one. Okay. Now this is the leading one. What you should make the others are zeros, like this. And if you make it, you're going to reach here. Okay, so again, do the steps to make sure that you knew how to reduce to the echelon form. Now the solution is easy. X بتساوي 2, y is equal to -1, and z بتساوي 3. Why? I knew that number of leading ones عددهم كم؟ 1 2 3. Correct? والunknown 1 2 3. يبقى the number of leading ones equal to the number of unknowns. So I'll have a unique solution. What is that solution? It is x2, y -1, and z3. So it is this vector. حل وحيد. طيب, let me show you something. Now, here, this one, هل هو في reduced echelon form? هل هو في reduced echelon form? No. Can I get the solution directly? Yes, I can get the solution directly. Why? Because this is now my diagonal, like this. Okay. All the entries below the diagonals are zeros. So easily I can solve starting from here. طيب. So from here, I start from the last row. Z هتساوي 3. So now we go here. What do we have? We have y, لأنه ده 1, دي y ودي z, correct? 1 في y ب y plus z بتساوي 2. But we got the value of a z. صح؟ ب 3. يبقى إذن y plus 3 بتساوي 2. This implies y بتساوي 2 minus 3, which is equal to -1. Then after that, we go to the first row. From the first row, what I have x plus 0y, okay, plus z, but the z is 3, is equal to 5. Then that is x بتساوي 5 minus 3, and this is equal to 2. So also I can get the solution directly from here. Isn't it the same ولا لا? X بكم؟ ب 2. Y become 9 minus 1, and Z it is 3. Okay. حتى لو كان هنا there is a number not a zero. واضح? Even if there is a number here. Okay. لأنه you have the value of what? You have a value بتاعت Z. Okay. And you have the value of the Y. يبقى لما هتجي لو كان في هنا you have this value and this value. Remains only to calculate the X. واضح؟ Clear? يبقى we can reduce to the echelon form أو upper triangular form أو lower triangular form. طيب, solve the system of linear equations. Okay, عندي كم unknown? 1 2 3 4. 4 unknowns. Okay, we first write it in the augmented form. Okay, so this is the augmented form, and then reduce it to an equivalent system using row operation. Okay, and in particular, you can reduce to the echelon form as a homework. You go and do the steps. They are not written here. Do the step, reduce it to the echelon form, and you will find that this is going to be the echelon form. If you get this part, you solve it as a homework, and this should be the answer. Okay? طيب.
ضروري يا دكتورة نرسله لك ولا عادي ما يحتاج؟
لا 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 عادي، لكن انت make sure انك you did it correctly.
حاضر.
واضح؟ Okay. طيب. Now this is the reduced echelon form. Is it 1? All the other entries are zeros. Here, this is 1. All the other entries معه في column are zeros. Then we come here, 1. All the other entries are zeros. The last one has no leading one, but all they are zeros. يبقى I'm done. Okay, great. يبقى this is in the reduced echelon form. How can I find the solution? Tell me. We did it just few minutes ago. We said what? This is corresponding to the x, this is corresponding to the y, this is corresponding to the z, and this is to the w, correct? Okay, then what we have? This is can leading one, the first row. This is for the second row, and this is for the third row. Now the fourth row has no leading one. يبقى يا column ما فيه leading one. This has leading one. This has leading one. This has leading one, but this one has no leading one. يبقى the columns that has no leading one, variable, its variable, we give it, you know, any real value. It can take any real value. We call it T, or we call it R, or we call it S, no matter. يبقى هنقول شنو؟ let what? W is equal to T, where T is شنو? A real number. T is any real number. يبقى now we can get the solution. Okay, we have 1 في x, that is x plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 w, but the w is t plus 2t is equal to what? What is the value here? Minus 5. Okay, and then now we move to the second. Okay, what from the second, what do we have? 0 plus y, okay, plus 0 minus 3 w, بدل w I write t, minus 3t is equal to what? Equal to 2. Okay, now we move to the third. What do we have? 0 plus 0 plus z minus 2t is equal to 3. Okay, يبقى from here what do we have? x الفاليو حقتها بتساوي شنو؟ بتساوي minus 5 minus 2t. Okay, what about the y? The y is equal to 2 minus 3t. Okay, what about the z? Z is equal to 3 plus 2t, and I have to write the w, don't forget it. What about the value of the w? W is equal to t. We assume it from the beginning. Correct? طيب يبقى this is a vector بتاع solution such that t is any real number. So all this set is a solution, set of vectors. Okay, so you can put it like that, like this here. Is it clear? The number of unknowns or number of leading ones. Malum, a number of leading ones are 3. How many unknowns? 4. If the number of leading ones are less than the number of the unknowns, I will have infinitely many number of solutions. Okay, it depends on a certain parameter. Okay, how can I proceed? I find the columns that has no leading one. This is corresponding to the variable w, so I will assume this any real value for this w, and depending on this value I can get the solution. Okay, so we say let w بيساوي any real number t, so the solution is this. Okay, or else x هتساوي كده. طيب لو عايز exact solution, عايز حل معين. Okay, how we get this exact solution? Tell me. If we want an exact solution, عايز حل معين, I will give t any value. ممكن اخد 0, ممكن اخد 1, ممكن اخد نص, ممكن اخد 10, ممكن اخد square root of 5. No matter, for every value you will substitute, you will get a certain solution. مثلا if I took t by 0, what is the solution if t by 0? هيكون minus 5, 2, 3, and 0. So this is one of the solutions, and infinitely many solutions. And next time لو أخذت t by 1 أو أخذت t by minus 1, okay, take t by 1. What is the solution? Another solution. هيكون minus 5, minus 2, so it is minus 7, correct? 2 minus 3, so it is minus 1. 3 plus 2 then it is 5 لأنه 2 في 1 t by 1 ها والt 1 قلنا so it is 1 like that. So this is another solution. And for every t real value, you're going to get a solution so you can get infinitely many number of them. Is it clear? Clear for all? Any question for now? لا طبعا العكس لا لا بس ممكن تحلها هي في العادة لا but you can do. يعني هنا إذا أنا وصلت كده إذا كانت x الحل ب4 يبقى t بكم؟ هتقول 4 بتساوي minus 5 minus 2t يبقى minus 2t بتساوي 4 تجيب لها الخمسة زائد 5 9 يبقى 9 بتساوي minus 2t يبقى t بكم؟ 9 على minus 2. اوكي and then you can get a solution بتاع الواي وبتاع الزد وبتاع الدبليو لانه خلاص عرفت قيمه التي. اوكي اوكي now this is another system of linear equations. We want to solve the system of linear equations. What we do first, we write it as an augmented form. Okay, so we write it like that. Many steps, you go and do it at home. Okay, another homework for reducing to the echelon form. Okay, so this is a homework. Okay, we try to reduce it to the echelon form. You will reach this one. Is it فعلا في reduced echelon form? Yeah, this is leading one. All the others are zeros. في second row, the first non-entry is 0. It is 1. All the others معاها في نفس column are zeros. Okay, the last one, all the entries are 0. يبقى we don't have leading one. Yes. Okay. طيب here am I going to check the number of leading one number of unknowns واقول infinitely many? No. Why? Because I have this لما يكون عندي row كله أصفار just check here. If it is 0 يبقى خلاص يبقى حيكون عندي infinitely many number of solution. But this is not a 0. This is 1. في value here. يبقى this is impossible that 0 is equal to 1. It can't happen. يبقى no solution. Why? Because of this row. لو أي row كل الأعداد فيه صفر ونمبر يبقى immediately you will say no solution. Okay? Clear for all? Okay? يبقى immediately, yes, we reduce it to the echelon form, and I found this case. يبقى because of this row, I will have no solution, and system is inconsistent. طيب. Now, moreover, we knew that either we will have a unique solution. يعني عندنا when we solve a system of linear equation, either you will get a unique solution or infinitely many, okay, solutions or no solution. Now, we want to talk about this one here, infinitely many number of solution. What he said? He said, if we have x1 is a solution for the linear system. طبعا linear system هو شنو؟ It is A x بتساوي B. Okay, ده في الماتريكس form صح؟ A it's the matrix of coefficient, x the vector of the variables, and B الجزء بتاع constants, correct? Like this one here. This of the constant, that'll be 5, 11 minus 6, correct? 5, 11 minus 6, and this is the matrix of coefficients, like that, correct? Okay. طيب يبقى this is a linear system في matrix form. Okay. طيب. Now, if he told you for this system, we have infinitely many number of solutions. One of the solutions is x1. So x1 have some values طبعا like that, correct? Okay, a value here, a value here, طبعا depending of a number of variables. And also x2 is a solution. What is the meaning of solution? Do you remember? What is the meaning of solution? Solution, that means if you took these values and you substitute it here, you should get the right hand side, which is B. And also if you took this and you substitute in your system, you should get that corresponding value here. Okay. يبقى شنو؟ If x1 is a solution, that is, if I put the vector x1, I'm going to get that this one should equal to B. And x2, if it is another solution, then A x2 also should equal to B. Right. Now, what he said? He said, if x1 and x2 are two solutions for the system, okay, then what we can say, C1 x1 plus C2 x2, okay, is another solution. يعني if this is a solution and this is a solution, multiply this solution by a number C1 and multiply this is by another number C2 and add them up, okay, you will get another solution in a certain case, not for every C1 and C2. بشرط معين إنه C1 plus C2 should equal to 1. يبقى شرط أساسي, okay, for this to be a solution is that the numbers that you're going to multiply them by x1 by x, well, other by x2, their addition should be equal to 1. Like what? Like مثلا 3 والثانية minus 2. When you add, it is 1, for instance. Correct? طيب, give me another numbers like 1 over 4 و 3 over 4. So their addition is 1. So these are the numbers that you can take for C1 and C2. No matter, you can multiply x1 by 1 over 4 or x2 by 3 over 4, or the opposite. ما في مشكلة. Both, they will give you a solution for the system. Now, is it clear the statement of the theorem? طيب, again, I'll say it. If we have a system of linear equations that has infinitely many solutions, and for that system, we have, for instance, x1 is a solution and x2 another solution, like here. This is a solution and this is another solution. Yes? اللي هو كان ده minus 7, 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Okay, and this is 5 and this is 1. So this is a solution and this is a solution. What he said, الstatement بتاع theorem. He said, وطبعا ده كان infinitely many number of solutions, correct? لأنه the number of leading ones is less than the number of unknown, وهنا ما عندي case 0 0 هنا بتساوي a number. So infinitely many number of solutions. طب he said, if this is a solution and this is another solution, you can get a third one from these two. How? By multiplying this is time a certain constant and this is a time another constant and then add, but not taking any two constants. What numbers you can take? Those numbers that their addition is equal to 1. Okay. Let me prove for you. By the way, if you want to prove that this is a solution, what you do? Go and substitute it here. You'll get 3. اللي هي الx قيمتها كم؟ الx minus 5, الy is 2, z 3, الw كده. Go and substitute it here. You're going to get 3. And the other here, again, substitute it here, you'll get this, and etc. So that means it's a solution. If you didn't get it, that means this is not a solution. Okay? So this should satisfy each one of these equations. Type okay. Now, let's test that. This is a solution and this is another solution. Okay? Multiply the first one times the number and the second one times another number. طبعا دي هنا 5. Okay? This is 5. فوق ناقص 1. طيب. Okay. Let's multiply the first one by any number. Which number you خلينا ناخد numbers simple numbers. For instance, I can multiply this is by a2 and this is times minus 1, correct? Because 2 minus 1 is what? Is 1. Type 2 في minus 5, this is equal to minus 10. 2 في 2, this is 4. 2 في 3 base 6. 2 في 0, that is 0. Type here, this one, this is equal to 7. And then minus 1 في minus 1, this is 1. Minus 1 في 5, this is minus 1, minus 5, sorry. And then minus 1 في 1, this is minus 1. Okay. And then add this to that. What you will get? Minus 10 plus 7, this is minus 3. And then 4 plus 1, this is 5. And then 6 minus 5, this is 1. And then 0 plus minus 1, this is minus 1. So we have minus 3, 5, 1, minus 1. Minus 3, 5, 1, minus 1, correct? Okay. Take them if we didn't make a mistake. Substitute here. You should get 3. Let's try it. Minus 3 والy ب5 والz ب1 يبقى 1 في 2 ب2 والw ب-1 minus 1 times minus 5, this is 5. في something wrong في calculations, definitely. 5 في calculations there is something wrong. Okay? There is something wrong. Either when I substitute here to get this one for the real number, this is minus 5, 2, 3, 0, minus 5, 2, 3, 0. Okay. This is when I take w x بتساوي minus 5 minus 2t. This is y minus 3t بتساوي 2 plus 3t. هنا شفتها؟ there is wrong here. y بتساوي 2 plus 3t, correct? عاملينها 2 minus 3t. يبقى ده المفروض كان يكون 2 plus 3t. Okay. z بتساوي 3 plus 2t and this is t. يبقى السوليوشن هنا you get it by mistake. يبقى when we substitute it by t by 0, this is minus 5, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 0. Okay, this one correct. But when we هنا when you substitute by t by 1. Minus 5 minus 2 is minus 7. 2 plus 3, this is 5. Okay, and then the second one also 3 plus 2 is 5, and then this is 1. So minus 7, 5, and then 5, and then 1. Okay, and this one, when we multiply it by minus 1, so you're going to get 7, 1, 7, minus 5 here. Okay, and then again minus 5, and then this is minus 1. And now you go and add them. هيكون عندك minus 10 plus 7 minus 3, and then 4 minus 5 is minus 1. If we didn't do another mistake. Okay, and then 6 minus 5 is 1, and 0 minus 1 is 1. يبقى minus 3 minus 1, 1 minus 1. So this one here minus 1. Okay, and then if you calculate, so 5 minus 3 minus 1 minus 3 minus 1 minus 4 minus 4 plus 5 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. If you substitute it here, you'll get minus 3. If you substitute, check the others. Okay, if one of them is a solution, if that means, again, let me go to the rule. If x1 is a solution and x2 is a solution, okay, then a constant times x1 زائد a constant times x2 will give me another solution for the system. Okay, how we prove this? I'll show you how to prove that. Just quickly give me 2 minutes and I'll stop. طيب, إحنا what we had? We have x1 is a solution and x2 is a solution. x1 is a solution and x2 is a solution. يبقى هيكون عندنا ax1 is equal to b and ax2 is equal to b. Now, he said what a constant times x1 are x1 plus s x2 should be another solution under a certain condition. If r plus s is equal to 1. طيب إحنا we said that this will be a solution if I take it and substitute it in my equation ax بتساوي b, ax, I should get the right hand side b. طيب let's take this one and substitute it here. What we will have? We will have a times r x1 plus s x2. We want to test, is it equal to b or no? Type now, from the properties of the matrices, when we are coming for that, we can multiply this with this, and then this one with that one. So what we'll get? We'll get a في r x1 زائد a في s x2. طيب, and this is a constant, this is a real number, we can take it out of the matrices. So we will get r مضروبة في a x1 plus s outside a x2. But this is equal to what? This is equal to b. Yes, from the beginning, since it is a solution, and the other, since it is a solution, is equal to b. So we will have r phi b plus s phi b, where r is a real number and s is a real number. So we can take b as a common factor. So we will have b multiplied by r plus s. خدنا عامل مشترك. But r plus s is equal to what? Is equal to 1. يبقى this is equal to b multiplied by 1. So it is equal to b. So yes, that means what? That means correct. This one is a solution. clear? Is it clear? clear يا جماعة، واضح؟ أي سؤال؟ Any question؟ طيب. This one I'll do it in 1 second. Just 1 second I'll finish because it's related to the previous. طيب في حالة الhomogeneous system, what is the homogeneous system? We said if we have the system AX بتساوي B, a system will be homogeneous if B all its elements are zeros. Okay, so that means a system حقنا now it is AX بتساوي a zero vector. All the elements are zeros. طيب now if it has infinitely many solutions. Okay, احنا بنتكلم عن السيستم ياتو that has infinitely many solutions. طيب if in this system x1 is a solution and x2 is another solution. He said as per the previous لأنه الهوموجينيوس system حالة خاصة. Also that means R x1 plus S x2 is another solution. بل هل necessary إنه R plus S should equal to 1 or no؟ طبعا لو كان R plus S بتساوي 1 أكيد مليون في المية it is a solution. طيب what if it is not equal to 1؟ Let's take it and check. طيب so حيكون عندنا السيستم شنو؟ حيكون عندنا A I put this one to test it is a solution or no where in the place of the X. يبقى حيكون عندنا A في R X1 plus S X2. Is it a solution ولا لا؟ عشان ما يكون solution it should equal to what? Is it equal to 0 or no? طيب now we do the same. So this one is equal to R في A X1 plus S في A X2. طيب this is equal to what? A X1 بتساوي شنو؟ بما إنه this is a solution بما إنه X1 is a solution this implies A X1 بتساوي البي كم؟ 0 and this معناها شنو؟ معناها A X2 also should equal to zeros. So that means this part is 0 and this part is equal to 0. So no matter هل بالضرورة يكون مجموعهم 1؟ No, because any number حتى لو كان 5 times 0 plus 19 times 0 is equal to 0. يبقى no restriction في الحالة دي over الvalues الريل values R والS. 200 this is في حالة السيستم is homogeneous. لو كان السيستم homogeneous that means all the numbers here are zeros. So in this case what we will have many number of solutions in particular or infinitely number of solutions or and in particular لو كان x1 is a solution and x2 is a solution also for any real number r and any real number s r x1 plus s x2 is a solution. Okay, وهي دي الأمثلة في حالة لا 3 و 2 هم 5 but a 3x1 plus 2x2 اللي هو حتساوي كده so 3 but ax1 is 0 and ax2 is 0 so 3 في 0 so is 0 يبقى this is also a solution. Okay, so ما بالضرورة المجموع يكون بيساوي واحد حق الR وحق الS. Clear? And this is not لو كان عندي solution in only x1 و x2. This is for every حتى لو كانوا 3. Okay, إذا كان ما homogeneous addition should equal to 1. 3 plus 2 5 5 minus 4 1. Okay, أما في حالة الhomogeneous any numbers for 3 solution 5 solution 18 solution 100 solution you do the same مش بس في x1 و x2. Okay, clear? So we stop here till our coming class and if you have any question you may ask.